Thanks for spending part of your Thursday with us. I'm Julie Grant. A report was released on Wednesday revealing some new details in the Gabby Petito case. So after a complaint was filed with the Moab City Police Department, an independent agency completed a review of the August 12th domestic violence incident involving Petito and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. Now, during the investigation, they found that the officers who responded to the scene and pulled over the van made several what they call unintentional mistakes, saying that they should have cited Petito for domestic violence. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're going to talk about it. The review also found that a statement was never obtained from the original 911 caller, another problem. The city of Moab released a statement responding to the report, saying that they plan to implement the report's recommendations and that they, quote, believe our officers showed kindness, respect, and empathy in their handling of this incident. I'm going to bring back in our guests on the program. I was just chatting with body language expert, human behavior expert, and jury consultant Susan Constantine, and attorney Daryl Cohen is also with us. So, Susan, I want to ask you to take a look at that video, that famous body camera footage where it was the last time we saw Gabby Petito alive and talking with the officers. I know you've seen this time and time again. Yeah. What jumps out at you, please, Susan, as a body language expert? What is she telling the officers that she's not saying?
She's a victim. So you see her body language is very collapsed, and she does what we call self-soothing gestures. When a person has zero confidence, she feels that she's lost. There's no one that's helping her. There's a way that they self-soothe. She got her hand up here. It's very heartfelt. She's very emotional. She ran her hands through her hair. And you look at her facial expressions, which mirrors her body language. Sadness. She's depleted. She's exasperated. But at the same time, that she's also feeling a bit responsible, like it's almost like it's her fault, like I've done something wrong. And a lot of times victims will do that.
Yes, yes. When I looked at this, and yes, those officers treated her with kindness, respect. Hindsight is 2020. Officers have a tough job. The one issue I had with it, and I don't agree with that she should have been cited. My issue was that they should have been separated so that she would feel comfortable telling the real story. Whenever she talked to police, he was still within her view. Daryl, I know you understand the domestic violence dynamic, having served as a prosecutor, doing criminal defense work. You know, if she feels like, oh my God, the threat to me is still within my view, within my reach, how can I possibly be honest, or I might get a more severe beating? To me, that was where the failure was, not so much citing her, it was in not giving her separation from him to talk with someone who could possibly elicit the truth from her. Your thoughts, please, Daryl.
Julie, I agree with you, but we have to remember the police officers were between a rock and a desert. And where were they going to take her? These officers are probably the only ones in that area. And they saw that there was no physical damage to either one of these two. And yes, they should have separated her in a wonderful world, in a parallel universe. They would have been able to take her across the street to a house, across the street to a place to have a coffee, but they couldn't. They were right here out, and you can see in the video, they were out in the middle of nowhere. And so they had to make a decision at the time, and we don't know whether or not they received another call to go somewhere else. That happens as well. So I can't say that these officers did the wrong thing in being able to review it. Yes, it would have been so much better, and she would still be alive had they done that. But you can't live in a parallel universe. You've got to do what you need to do at the time. And they made a decision that turned out not to be what it should have been. But I really have a very difficult time second guessing them.